From the snowy mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show, including Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including Rocking Out to Bumblefoot, reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, and so much more. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by donating to Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. It's the third Wednesday of the month, where I bring in Mike Morin from Haunted Crew of Canada, known around these parts as MERLE, for Ghosts of the Great White North. MERLE is an accomplished paranormal investigator outside of Vancouver, British Columbia. He has investigated all over this province, along with areas in Washington State and Oregon as well. MERLE's goals are to find critical answers in solving paranormal mysteries that have haunted people or places for decades, even centuries. Tonight, we are also going to be joined by former United States Marine Megan Gehring, who is also an accomplished astral traveler. She uses her skills to help people deal with both paranormal and extraterrestrial issues. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. MERLE, it's been a while since we had you on. You skipped last month while I was down in San Francisco, but we got you back. How you been doing, bud?
I've been doing great. It's good to be back. Feels like I haven't done this in like a year.
Well, you know, you're looking a year older. That's for sure. You just celebrated a birthday.
I did.
What are you now? Are you the big, 36, 37 now?
The big 38.
You're 38. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Feels great. I'm like wine. I get better with age.
Jeez, MERLE. Jeez, really pushing the limits tonight, eh? That's good.
You give me one name with no last name, I gotta act like it,
right? Well, you know, that's why we call you MERLE around here. Now, Mike, you are someone who has been investigating the paranormal for about a decade now, and you've had a lot of fun, a lot of crazy experiences along with that. What keeps you going? What makes you want to do this?
We talk about it all the time, helping the people, trying to solve that mystery. You're kind of chasing the dragon and trying to figure out the unknown to help people. I like tonight's guest will be fun. I can't wait to hear her talk our ears off over astral travel, because that's something new to me. The past couple of years from meeting Megan and talking about all of their experience, and I just want to pick her brain on how they do that stuff.
Well, and that's what we're going to do. Let's introduce Megan Gehring here. She is a former United States Marine, because I'm not allowed to say retired. I got schooled on that the last time I accidentally said that. And she is also an astral traveler. Also, she is the official Spaced Out Radio Astral bodyguard. I love that title. Love that title. How you doing, Meg?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on tonight, Dave.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It always is. Have you flooded out yet down in Washington State? I know you were pretty worried about that when we talked last.
Oh, yeah, but no, we are clear and dry right now. So huge change of the weather, middle of March. It's really dry, unusually dry. It's beautiful, but it's crisp and chilly.
Well, perfect. And, you know, my driveway is literally turning into a skating rink right now, because it's warm during the day, and then it freezes at night, and I have an incline on my driveway. I don't even know if I could, even in 4x4 right now, if I could get my one vehicle up the driveway. That's just how icy it is. Yes, MERLE.
It was only 15 degrees here, and I had the AC on. Just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, you bastard. Yeah, that's not even nice. Not even nice. But nonetheless, everybody's talking about, are you hunkering down? Are you hunkering down? That's what I've been doing for the last 5 years, is hunkering down, And I'm just saying that I don't need to hunker down. Everything is okay at SOR headquarters, and it's great to have both you on for Ghosts of the Great White North. We're going in a little bit of a different pattern this time. Megan, we're going to bring you in here for a quick second because not a lot of people understand what Astral is, and that's what we're going to be getting into with you tonight. But have you always been involved with the paranormal, or is this something that you decided that it was interesting and you wanted to get into it?
I pretty much have been doing paranormal research, mainly boots on the ground, involved with various groups since 2004. So, I mean, I've got a very extensive history on the investigation side. And then I started to realize that I had certain sensitivities versus other team members per se. So then I started to pursue that, and that's what led me to Astral. And I've only been astraling for the last 2 years, but I actually prefer to do astral investigations now for multiple reasons. So
okay,
what's
the biggest difference? What's the biggest difference?
Well, in the astral plane, once you achieve astral, you can actually see and sense things way differently than when you were there in the physical. I, of course, am not a physical medium, so if I am standing there, maybe I feel a little off, but I can't really sense too much around me. So that's what makes it different when I go astral, is because I can get an impression of what kind of entity I'm dealing with based off of their energy on the astral plane.
I don't think a lot of people will understand that, but we'll get into that later on. So when you were getting into the field of ghost hunting in 2004, what led you to this field? What brought you there?
Well, growing up, I kind of always had interesting experiences. You know, the upstairs in my grandma's restaurant was really bad. And then when we moved into a new house about the same time I was 13, the room that I picked, I guess, was definitely haunted. And I had communications with a spirit child. So I kind of was always curious as to why I was picked or why I had the issue versus, you know, my mom, my brother, or anybody else that was around me. Because, I mean, we'd have sleepovers and nobody would say, you know, oh, there's a ghost in your room or something. So I seemed to be the only one picking up on this. So that's what led me into the paranormal. I wanted to figure out the why.
Do you feel like you're a little special over that? I don't mean that sarcastically.
On a couple different levels.
Oh, fill this in. Come on. You can do it.
Oh, well, okay. So, yes, I felt a little different. And, you know, was it an overactive, you know, imagination type thing? I battled with that a lot. But then once I started pursuing the why and reading more books, listening to people who are trans mediums, I started to understand that a lot of people do have these gifts and they can either choose to block them or tap into them. So I just kind of started tapping into them, and then that's also what kind of made me more aware. Nothing really special about it other than the fact that I decided to pursue it versus block it out.
Right.
So,
why block it out? We hear a lot of people who will do that. Why block it out?
A lot of people do. They don't like the constant bombardment of energy. Sometimes when spirit is around you, you can feel hyper, you could feel anxious. Sometimes it causes like pinching in your skin. Actually, one of my neighbors was over here at my house, and she jumped off my couch because she got pinched. And I really had to calm her down, but I explained that spirit is always around me in certain ways, and they just didn't appreciate her in my space. So that is why she got pinched. I knew that at this time later on in life. If we were 13-year-olds, yeah, we would have freaked out and ran outside screaming, I'm sure. But, I mean, we're adult neighbors standing here having a conversation. She got pinched in the leg. But, weird stuff, always weird off things really happen around me. And I believe it's because the energy comes to me. Now, if I were to choose to block it out, ignore it, deny it, revoke it, basically what happens there is I start shutting my brain off and shutting my sensory perception off, and I will become numb to it. That way it no longer affects me. So it's kind of a personal choice, and some people do it automatically because maybe what their parents told them. So that's why, the mass is not walking around in tune with spirit communication. So because of how our parents dealt with the issue, oh, no, you don't have imaginary friends. Oh, knock it off. So,
right.
That type of corrective behavior does kind of start to wean you off, and it forms blockages.
Okay. We'll get into that. We're going to get deeper into that as we go on in the show. Merle, you're someone who has been attacked numerous times by ghosts and spirits. I personally think it's because they don't like you, but that's just me. And I'm saying that facetiously.
On people.
Yeah. Well, goes with the territory. I mean, when you're a one-name person, like Cher but Merle, it just kind of goes that way. It goes with the territory. But nonetheless, I mean, you are somebody who has experienced a lot of physical encounters with spirits. I've only had it happen once where I have been what I believe was pinched, and that actually happened at our Paracon here a couple of years ago, where we were doing a night tour on the Sunday night, and I got pinched on my collarbone. And I'd never experienced anything like that before, and it was very weird to me. It was odd, and I don't want to say I felt violated, but it was just something that I hadn't experienced, and I'm not sure if I was very happy about that. As someone who has been attacked a number of times on your end, what is that like, Merle, for people who haven't experienced that?
I'll take you back to the first time I ever had interaction or been attacked by a spirit. This was probably one of my first investigations when I was on a team called British Columbia Paranormal Research Society. And it was a private investigation. It was a weird house. When we walked in, you get all creeped out, not because of the spirits, mostly because of the tenants. Like when we walked in, the guy closed the door and he locked the door from the inside. So we're like, oh God, what's going to happen now? And then all of the doors had like 3 locks on them. So he would unlock each lock when we would go into the rooms to investigate, and he would oversee us. And it was the weirdest thing ever. Just this little tiny guy. And the energy coming off our client plus the house was horrible. In my opinion, weird things probably happened in the house. Why do you need 3 locks on each door? I don't know. But anyhow, we go on with our investigation. You do your regular stuff, and towards the end of the night, we were sitting doing an EVP session where we had our audio recorders out and we were just asking questions to spirits. And I was getting a little frustrated because we weren't getting much evidence or anything. And when that happens, you've seen me, Dave, I kind of amp it up, or I'll put my work voice on and I'll be a bit of a not a nice guy.
A Merle. You'll be a Merle.
Trying to filter my words. And I said, all right, if there's anyone here, I need you to touch one of us, scratch one of us, pinch one of us, yell, whatever. I always say that. You know my line with that. And all of a sudden, the room got cold. I'm like, that's all you got? Come on, give us something. Normally, I'm not a taunter, but I was giving it this night. And I felt something on the side of my face just scratch. And there were 4 scratch marks down my cheek, face to my neck. And then the panic set in. Because I'm like, how did that happen? Did I make that happen by mind over matter? No, I didn't. Then I'm like, what the F was that? And then I start to get raises from the scratches. I'm like, yeah, that's a scratch. And then the other investigators took photos, and it didn't. As soon as that happened, you're right. I felt violated because I like to be in control. With this, I'm not in control. You're scratching me. I can't stop you. And violating. That was the first time that's happened, and I won't forget that. And every time something happens to me in investigations now, I automatically think about that. You can't stop it. You can't treat it. You can't clean it while it's happening. It's weird. Would be the best word.
Right.
It's weird.
Right.
Like, how does it happen? Why does it happen?
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that, we don't know everything. I mean, there isn't supposed to be anything that is, supposed to harm us from that realm, I mean, especially if this isn't true. But, I mean, we all have those scary, eerie encounters where we just cannot explain what is going on, how it's happening, why it's happening. Megan, in your travels throughout the paranormal, have you had that happen too, where you've been scratched or physically harmed?
I have been shoved once. I had my ankle grabbed another time. But the funny thing is, my husband has been the target of most of the incidents that I've been, around when it happened. So he's been spit on, he has been slapped, he's been scratched on the back, he's been pushed to where he fell. It's really interesting. He felt like he had a snake bite on his calf one time. He said he felt 2 different sets of fangs hit him, and we were actually at a cemetery in Yuma, Arizona. So of course, all of our investigators, we flipped on the lights and started looking for a snake. And he didn't even have a mark on him after that. So I have witnessed more interesting things like that actually coming to, a physical state with no explanation versus it actually happening to me. So my husband, I think because he's my buddy in this, he's trying to protect me. I think it was going after him.
Well, why do you think that is? Why him?
Well, why him? Because he is the alpha. He's the, it's like when you're a new kid at school, you want to pick the fight with, the biggest, baddest kid in your class to prove a point, right? So, well, that was old school. I don't know if kids still do that, but when I was little, that's what we used to do. And plus, my papa always told me stories. That's what he used to do. So, just an example. But basically, they go after dominant personalities because to make a statement, that's how you do it the best. You go after the strongest one. You go after the one that's going to be the unusual pick to say, whoa, what just happened? You don't want to go, after Susan, who's really nervous anyway, because she's nervous about anything. So, sorry to all Susans out there. That was an example, too.
At least it wasn't a Karen.
Hey.
Right. I could use me, but I'm kind of in the middle, so I couldn't use myself for that example. I'm in the middle with these investigations. I'm not the most stoic one, but I'm definitely not nervous going on investigations. So I believe that spirit does target, and certain spirits target the alphas to prove the biggest point, because that's how you are going to get the attention.
Is it really an alpha? Is it really an alpha-dominated type thing?
Not necessarily, but if you have a skeptic and then somebody who is more inclined to be psychic standing next to each other, and they're still standing in like the same haunted building, they are actually going to go after the skeptic versus the psychic.
Really?
Yes.
I've seen the opposite.
In my experience. You've seen the opposite. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Merle?
I agree with Megan. I think it goes after more people, because if your leader or whoever is affected, hurt, or whatnot, everyone in the group is going to be like, oh, Jesus. Because if that person is affected, that energy is going to affect the entire group, which if a spirit's trying to make a statement, he or she wins. Because, like I said, if the leader is affected, you're all affected. If your weakest link is affected, you nurture them and they'll be okay.
Never thought about it that way. Never thought about it that way, but that's kind of interesting indeed. And as we got Mike Morin from Haunted Crew of Canada, known as Merle around these parts, along with Megan Gehring, we only got about 2 minutes before we go to break at the bottom of the hour. And when you are being physically assaulted, what is the actions that one should take, Megan?
What I have done in a physical investigation, what I have done is I ground myself by clearing my mind and basically trying to send all the energy in my body down to the ground. And then I breathe in fresh energy kind of thing. This is just a real quick grounding and clearing. And then I state either in my head with strong intent, or if I'm around my people, I will say it out loud, and I will basically say, you are not allowed to touch me. I understand you're here, but you are not allowed to touch or harm me. And then I do the energy, breathe it in, and then I send it down to the ground. And, that's my quick version of clearing and grounding. And then I can continue. And if it's persistent, then I will actually leave the location. But very important, before I leave any location, I forbid anything to follow me or attach to me before I leave the premises. That way it stays there and it's not coming home and, hiding out in my closet later on.
Has that been a problem before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had stuff follow me home. I'm sure Merle could vouch for that, too.
Well, what is that like? We got about 45 seconds. What is that like, having a ghost follow you home?
It's not cool. You sense the property is still with you, especially if you're sitting there going over footage or EVP sessions on a recorder, and you just have this lingering feeling like something is with you there from that location. And I luckily put 2 and 2 together. I went back to the location, and I basically released it back to the location by saying, this is where you belong. If you do want crossed over, I could assist with that. But basically, I felt it detached, and the case could get out of my head. And that was another thing. The thought of the investigation was just still very forefront in my mind. That was a subtle way of saying that it was with me.
Right. Hold on right there. We are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Merle is here for Ghosts of the Great White North, along with our special guest, Megan Gehring. Astral travel is the topic of the paranormal tonight. We'll be back with more Spaced Out Radio right after this.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you'd know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thorne, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know little brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month, and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to remind all of you that if you've missed parts of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. We got Merle here. Merle's in the house for Ghosts of the Great White North. Our special guest tonight is Megan Gehring. We're going to be talking astral travel here in just a little bit. I got to tell you, Merle, you know what we haven't done in over a year? We haven't called in Little Marky Spender to talk about our Bigfoot incident. Should we do that? Should we call him in? Megan, do you want to hear the story? Yeah? Oh, yeah, just for you, Merle. I know you like that, Merle. I know you like that. We're going to call in Little Marky Spender here. So, Mark, stand up, go someplace quiet, because I know you're on your camouflage lazy boy chair right now. We're going to call in Mark. We're going to give you guys what happened between Mike, Mark, and I in the forest here in British Columbia. And I'm going to let Merle talk about it because if you have an interest in Bigfoot, this is actually pretty cool. Let's get Little Marky Spender in here. Hold on. I got to get his number here. You know, totally off the cuff, I know. Totally off the cuff. All right, hold on. Oh, wrong number. There we go. Probably might hear some dial tone here. Oh, he's like, I got a cough tonight. We're still calling him.
He's coughing?
Yeah, what else is new? I've had a cough for 3.5 weeks, thanks to my son. Come on, Little Marky Spender, pick up your phone. Hey. There he is. Hey, Little Marky Spender, how you doing?
Good. I got a cough tonight. I might start coughing.
That's all right. So back in, was it September or October of 2018, that we went in to investigate Flight 21. And Mark came in as our armed bodyguard because there's a lot of wild animals around there. And Merle wanted to do a paranormal investigation. Merle, take the story.
Am I allowed to say where we were?
Oh, yeah. Go right ahead. I just said Flight 21.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? Yes, we drove out to Flight 21. It was myself, Dave, and Mark Spender. Mark had his high-caliber rifle based on the terrain. There's grizzlies, black bears, cougars, not the ones from the bars. And routine investigation. We go out there with all of our gear. We go to a lot of the wreckage locations with our sensors, our cameras, our voice audio recorders. And we're doing a standard EVP session, and just the atmosphere got kind of weird and heavy. Would you agree, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got extremely heavy, and I hunt. I know Mark hunts, and it kind of perks your ears up like there's maybe a predator around you. So Mark kind of unslings his gun and has it in the ready. And then Dave and I kind of hear the chatter. Do you chatter? No? Thank you. So we hear that kind of flanking us from our left and our right. And we hear it how many times? Twice?
Well, we heard it the once. And
yes,
let's go into a little bit of detail here rather than paraphrasing. You and I and Mark walked into the back of it after about an hour of investigating the crash site, and Mark stood by a big boulder that you and I crossed a meadow about 30, 40 feet. And we were there a couple of minutes when all of a sudden we heard that weird chattering sound, and we yelled back at Mark to see if Mark was talking to us, and he said no, that it wasn't him. And then you and I stood there for a couple more minutes, and that's where the chatter happened again. Mm-hmm. And that's when we made our way back towards the crash site, where we kind of split up a little bit, where you went over into the far reaches of where the crash site was. There's also a tree down there that's probably 80, 90 feet long and probably 12 feet around, 14 feet around. And, that's where you started hearing the stomping.
Yeah, it was odd. We hear this weird stomping in the bush, and we just wanted to keep going further into the bush. Our curiosity is telling us to keep going, but all of our senses are saying, get the heck out of there. So we go a little further, maybe 20 to 50 feet in more, and we kind of split up in a way again, and you take it from there, Dave.
I was just trying to go turn my heater on. But, from there, Mark kind of heads over into a little turnaround area where the recovery vehicles happened to turn around back in the 60s where this happened. And Mark, you kind of went off into your own way. I'm kind of in between you and Merle, and Merle starts hearing this thumping sound in the forest. What did you hear?
Well, we were in the middle of the landing, remember? And we had the REM pod in the middle of the landing. And as soon as Mike started heading off to the left there towards that big tree, remember the REM pod went off?
It did,
and
yes.
You started hearing noises in the bush there. And that's the first time he came back.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. But Mark, you all of a sudden, right after Mike heard those heavy steps, Mark, you started hearing noises by you.
Yeah, we were just about to leave, and Mike had already started down the trail. You were about 20 feet in front of me. I was still in the middle of the landing, and I started hearing something come through the bush, and that's when I dropped my pack and got ready because I didn't know what was coming through the bush. Mm-hmm. And nothing showed up. I definitely heard it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that something was coming through the bush, but nothing ever did show up.
Now, you, Mark, you have stated in the past that, being an outdoorsman, you can tell the difference between animals.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was, like somebody that's used to walking in the bush. They can walk really fast through the bush without breaking a whole bunch of branches and stuff. But you can hear the sound of. It was almost like the sound of the branches on the trees as they walked through. Brushing against clothes. And it was definitely bipedal. It definitely was not a 4-foot. It was definitely a 2-foot.
So how do you tell the difference, Mark?
Just in the sound of the way they walk. It's when you hear a person walk, you can hear the distinct two shuffling of the legs, and then with the animals, with the moose or deer or whatever, or a bear, you can tell the difference. It's more noise. And it's just something you get familiar to. You can hear something walking through the bush that's on 4 legs, as opposed to 2 legs.
And also Merle, when you go ahead,
I was just gonna say, like the foot weight, like a deer, they walk fairly lightly, where like a moose walks a little heavier, and like a bear, they walk like a bear. Just you can kind of gauge the size of what's walking around too by how hard they're on the ground.
Megan, what do you think?
Whatever it was coming quick.
Megan, what do you think?
Oh, what do I think? Okay, I thought Mark was answering. I have a question. Did you guys notice when you heard the stomping if it reverberated within you at any rate?
No,
No.
didn't for me.
No. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. No, it's very interesting. I mean, I'm sitting here hanging on every word, and I mean, the REM pod going off is really interesting. How far into the landing was the REM pod? I mean, what kind of an area are we talking about?
It was resting on a piece of the fuselage.
Okay, so...
Like right in the middle of the crash site.
Okay, so it's actually quite sizable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow. So how far do you think this thing was from the REM pod?
Oh, quite a ways.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a ways. What we've always learned that I've learned in the whole Bigfoot area is, in talking to a number of people, is what they do is they actually travel in threes. Now, how accurate this is, I have no idea. They'll have two making noise to kind of push you into an area where they want you to go. In this case, they want it. There's one trail in and there's one trail out, and they were pushing us towards going down that trail and getting the heck out of there. And if there was a third one, we didn't see it. People who I've talked to about Sasquatch have stated previously that the third one always stays silent unless you go into that area, then it will start up. So that's where it got a little strange for us all. And within like 10 minutes, we ended up leaving. I still think that was a mistake.
I was just going to say... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Merle.
I was just going to say, I don't understand thinking about it why we left. I know we left because we were spooked, but I think going forward, if we feel things like that, we should just have a seat, relax, and see what happens.
Well, that's what should have happened. That's what should have happened, but we didn't, unfortunately, do that. We ended up going right hard into it and leaving. And that's inexperience. You know, Mark has never really seen a Bigfoot, or in his 30-plus years of tracking animals, had never seen a Bigfoot print. I mean, Mark, why don't you explain that, how you got into this?
Yeah, well, that's the print that you showed me up on our first site there, and I sat down on the ground for a good 15 or 20 minutes trying to decipher and trying to basically debunk it by, thinking about what could have made it other than what you told me, and I couldn't come up with any kind of an idea. That print was definitely there, and unless somebody took the time to actually physically go in and make it, which I doubt, because you guys found it kind of by coincidence. So, I was trying to debunk it with, moose tracks or deer tracks or bear tracks, and I couldn't debunk it with anything of that. I still to this day, there's only one solution that I have for it, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's kind of set us all on track. But, I mean, I still think what we need to do, guys, is we need to put a gifting site up at the crash site. I think we do. I mean, the last time Merle and I were there was cougar markings all over the place. Lipstick, satchels, purses, high heels, Come on, that's funny. That is funny.
I got it.
Right. No, but seriously, there were mountain lion markings all over the place. We probably scared a mountain lion out of the area, because Merle has that effect on wild animals. So it wasn't too surprising that something happened there.
I would like to camp there.
That would be interesting.
It would on so many levels, paranormal and your Sasquatch level. See what would happen.
Yeah. We also got that name when we took Bill up there, the one name that came through on the spirit box as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the lady who passed away on the crash site, or during the crash. Yeah, we got a name to confirm that. That was pretty real. That was pretty real. All right, Little Marky Spender, thank you so much for sharing your stories, man.
Great. Thanks, guys. We'll be listening on YouTube.
Mark.
That's
Talk
Little
to you
Marky
soon.
Spender, everybody, otherwise known as Bazooka Joe. He kind of hangs out with us every now and again. We kind of like them. Around here, but that's just the way it is. All right. We'll get into some astral travel coming up here, but yeah, you got to come up and play with Bigfoot. That's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. No, I was sitting there hanging on every word because, I mean, I could kind of envision what was going on through your guys' description. I mean, wow, that is a heck of an experience.
It was pretty intense. I mean, literally, we got stalked. And that's what happened. I mean, there's no point in sugarcoating it. That's exactly what happened, and it was real, and it was surreal, and it was odd, and I'm pissed off that we left the area. However, at that point, it comes down to safety and what's the right thing to do, and the right thing to do was to leave at that point. Do it again? Oh yeah, I would totally do it again.
What about astral travel there?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We got to get Megan to astral travel there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wonder what would happen. I like Jason's comment in YouTube. We should camp there and cook bacon just to see what happens.
We'll be having BLTs with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I totally agree. All right, let's get on to tonight's topic, astral travel. Okay, for many of us in there, as we got about 6 minutes before we go to break at the top of the hour, and we're going to focus on that coming out of the break here. What is astral travel all about? Tell us about
it. Predominantly, it is going to a plane outside of our physical bodies, the astral realm, the astral plane, and it is energy manipulation. Well, what I do mainly is energy manipulation. Some people, though, they go to the astral realm on mental vacations, and they go, they focus on Italy. They could go to Italy. I would not recommend that right now, but I am just amazed because once I started realizing how many people astral, they go see people, they go see places. So what I do, though, is energy manipulation, and I do that for spiritual cleansing, spirit negotiations, and crossovers, as well as, like, clearing just negative funk around, people and their houses and their properties.
Really? What do you mean by what do you mean by going in and protecting people's houses from their properties? How do you do that?
So in the astral plane, there's things that come to me that are very clear. And when somebody is surrounded by something that shouldn't be there, whether it's a spirit or just general negative energy, and sometimes that's because of a health condition, sometimes it's because of negative thoughts or maybe a mental condition, I can see it manifests to me like a dark cloud around a person or over the entirety of maybe the apartment or the house that they live within. And so what we can do to rectify that is go in there and literally using our energies, we can pull it off the walls. We can, manifest light, which is pure energy, from either earth source or universal source, and we can clear it. And, we help our clients, try to get them to the point where they're doing positive affirmations and trying to really change little things in their life to not get back to where they were. So, but everybody sees differently in astral too. But I'm familiar with my interpretations. So, like, dark clouds are usually negative energy. So I just wanted to clarify that.
How does that energy turn into paranormal for you? Like, what's the difference between dealing with paranormal and extraterrestrial?
Oh, man. Okay, so let me see. Paranormal is very here, okay, and you could feel it. The client has a specific way to report what's going on. when off-world is involved, there is such a different frequency that I could detect in Astral. It's very low and it's rhythmic. It's not the same as, you know, a trickster or, you know, your dearly departed grandmother hanging around. Those energies are very much like what they were like in human form. You know, you can sense a loving grandmother that's there out of concern. You can pick up on maybe an angry former homeowner that thinks that you're in his house, because they do feel human. Tricksters are a little bit lower level than a human vibration, but off-world interaction, if there is a client with true off-world interaction, the vibration is way lower, and it's like you're standing next to a sonic, a subwoofer, and you feel that vibration. So that's the best way I could explain, but it's very low and very grounding.
Merle, your thoughts?
I've been hanging on a question to ask her. Can I just go ahead and ask my question?
Sure. That's kind of why you're here.
Truth. Just given the times with the whole virus situation, when you say you would not astral to Italy, what would be the reason?
Oh, man. Okay, so actually I've been following the news and everything, and uncontrolled, I have picked up on the emotions from there. And the emotions, I'm very keen on picking up emotions when I'm in an astral state, and the emotions that the people of Italy right now are going through are tremendous. I mean, you're talking panic, not understanding, and extreme loss. You are dealing with people who are scared to death that they're going to get sick, you know, and that is not necessarily a good thing, because they're so worried about getting sick, they're stressing themselves out and ending up with a cold, and then they're freaking out about having the COVID-19. And I was able to sense that, and so I actually kind of had to tell myself, turn off the news, you know, just send love to Italy and don't try and read into it. So, but the emotions are very high. They're very palpable. Italy, though, is beautiful. I've kind of astraled around the Vatican area and then Tuscany. It's beautiful. I mean, I've never been there in person, but astral, it was beautiful. So, but the emotions, Merle, is what I was pretty much picking out on. You cannot get sick if you astral. You know, okay. If I were to astral there, I'm not going to actually become contagious.
But astraling, you would also see people who have passed away and sorts of things like that too, correct?
And yes, if they choose to come forward, if I was thinking about a family in specific, but
right.
Generally, if I were to pop to Italy in astral, I'm not going to get flooded with a mass. Well, I might.
All right, Megan, I'm going to get you to hold on right there.
Oh,
because we're going to go to break here at the top of the hour. Ghost of the Great White North continues on Spaced Out Radio right after this.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR, where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com, where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com, and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today. Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
We're taking Sunday nights out of this world on Spaced Out Radio. This is Michael W. Hall, also known as the Paranormal Lawyer. Together, we're going to go on an exciting journey into the unknown. I'm going to bring you some of the best interviews in the paranormal and supernatural to start your new week off on a freaky note. So tune in to Spaced Out Sundays with me, Michael W. Hall, only on spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be tuning in. We want to say hello to everybody listening in on our terrestrial affiliates, along with the digital side on Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Glam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Navigaris. Navigaris is your password. What is that? Anyways, the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. The third Wednesday of every month, we bring in Merle from Haunted Crew of Canada for Ghosts of the Great White North. We talk everything paranormal on this show. Merle is hanging out with us along with Megan Gehring. She is our special guest. We're talking astral travel tonight. Merle, Megan, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You are very, very welcome. Now, I want to get into the whole astral side of everything, okay? Because I think that's kind of important. Megan, how does astral traveling help in dealing with paranormal cases? And give us an example of what you've done with that.
Well, with boots on the ground type case, we can do a pre-evaluation. We can provide like an overwatch for during the investigation, and then we can do a follow-up, and after the evidence is reviewed, we can match it up, and then we can go in and clear the issue if there is one. So that would be a hand-in-hand investigation. The other thing that Astral is good for is, say somebody is in Ireland. I have a client in Ireland, and she needed some help. So we went in, we closed some portals, we cleaned it up. Excellent. She'd been dealing with the stuff for quite a while. We went in, we mitigated, and it took us a little bit to get everything done, because after all, it is Ireland. It's a very special situation because, you know, you've got the Fae, and then there's a bunch of other stuff, and famine. And actually, to follow up on the whole thing about a mass spirit flow, I actually got rushed by famine spirits while I was in Ireland. It was amazing. A bunch came forward. And so, yeah, that did jog my memory while we were at break, is, yes, I have had a mass of spirits come to me after a massive death. So that is possible. So we can work remotely to help clients around the world. Or say my brother lives across the state. I could help him if he needed anything. You know, even if he's in the next town over, I don't have to drive over to his house. I could astrally mitigate some of the issue with energy manipulation, utilizing the astral plane. So that's why I think, you know, astral is very, very good. And, you know, I use it for good things. Some people are nefarious with it, unfortunately. And we have actually met other astral travelers in astral. So, you know, and that's a whole nother can of worms. But basically, astral is beneficial because we don't always have to be at the location to do some good at that location.
Merle.
I can attest. Yeah, I can. This is a two-parter. Number one, I can attest to Megan's abilities because I just remembered. Remember, I asked you maybe a month or two ago about that house that I was going to go investigate.
Yes, I did a pre-eval for you.
So define that house, Mike. Define that house for our audience so they know.
Yeah. So I, as you know, investigate the paranormal. We got called out to a house. I'm not going to say the city it was in because it's a really private investigation. Somewhere in the lower mainland of British Columbia. And there were things being moved in the house, people hearing things, people seeing full-body apparitions, being touched. It was basically a full meal deal for a paranormal investigator. And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I messaged Megan. I'm like, Megan, this house sounds pretty extreme. There's a lot of accounts happening from the homeowner. And she went and checked it out. She found out that there were some indigenous spirits there. There were some negative energy, most likely from the property there. There was a person on the outside looking into the house. Everything she said, bang on. I can even go further into astral out of this example. I'll be honest, I was kind of thinking astral's hokey before. But this was about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. I got followed by a pretty negative spirit into my house. And I remember I asked one of my friends who does astral, I'm like, hey man, can you check my house out and see if there's anything in here? And he's never been to my house. He lives in the United States. And in the South. I forget one of the southern states. But anyhow, he's like, yeah, your house, he described it all. Walking in my door, described my kitchen, my living room, my entrance, my hallways, my bedroom, my other bedroom. And he's like, yeah, there's something in your room that you brought home from an investigation you were on that's clung to you. It's more of a trickster, just wants to scare you, take your energy, just make your life kind of crappy for a while. So he got rid of it and literally made everything great again. So I'm an astral guy. I believe in it. I think it works. It's neat.
But when you are traveling to contact a spirit on the other side who is, say, harassing or provoking a homeowner or business owner or whatever, what do you see, Megan?
Well, sometimes if it's a human, presence, I can get a general description, a good enough description to identify it back to the client. So there was this one case I described, sandy blonde hair. I described a scar in his, eyebrow, and he had a very pointy chin. And it was one of those things where it was like, how did you know that? Because all I was going off of was the location. And this lady had moved there a few years ago, and this was a deceased relative of hers. So it was very interesting. I mean, I didn't, I was not aware of these people in her history, and I gave her a good enough description for her to go, oh my goodness, I know exactly who that is. What does he want? And so it was like, oh, well, he's concerned, and, we evaluated further. Once she identified him, then it was kind of like we did a mini channeling to figure out why he was around her so much. So, but if it's something like a trickster, I have seen a shape-shifting trickster, and it was an incredibly dark mass, and it rushed into us, and when it rushed towards us, it started to grow, and it, in Astral, it looked like it achieved 8 feet tall, and it started to get octopus tentacles on it. And I'm just like, nobody's going to believe this. And then all of a sudden, once we started to try to remove it, it sprouted these huge bat wings. And I'm not joking. I mean, it went from an octopus shadow thing, then sprouted bat wings, and then we were able to, we thought, defeat it, but then it turned into a mouse type thing and started scurrying along the floor, and then we were able to completely catch it and remove it. But that was actually one of my first astral experiences, and I was like, what did I just see? And the gal that I was actually doing the astral with, her and I talked on the phone later, and we described the exact same thing, and we were laughing because we realized how ridiculous we sounded, but it's what we both saw. So I don't know how to explain that, but I can tell you that the energy, it was probably trying to scare us, and so that's why it was morphing. But I mean, this ominous 8-foot tall octopus and then bat wings. I mean, yeah, it's the stuff of childhood nightmares. But it was such a dark shadow, and the feel of it was very serious. So I'm sure everybody out there is probably going, what? But the feel of this was very serious. This was something we really did need to remove. And it was very hard to remove because of the shape-shifting. You know, we couldn't exactly capture it and then remove it from the property. So
it's so funny because when you're talking about that, all I can think of is the movie Monsters, Inc.
Oh, no.
That's all I can think about is Monsters, Inc. And I just saw that the other day. And I was like, oh my God, like this is hilarious because here I am just watching this now happen, you know, and listening to this happen. And this is right out of Monsters, Inc. This is just fantastic. And I don't say that to make a joke or anything like that, because I know that you're somebody who takes this very seriously, and you and I have had some intriguing conversations over the last year and a half here about a lot of different topics. But when you were going through something like that, how do you control yourself? How do you control your mind on just trying to, you know, keep sane with something like that?
Well, okay, so I would definitely say it is most like virtual reality. Okay, so when you are doing something like virtual reality, it's so immersive because you are seeing things, you can smell things, you can hear things, yet they're not in the room with you. Okay, I can be in my bedroom all by myself, and I know there is not a giant dark octopus bat thing in front of me. I know, but on the astral plane, there is. And that's why, again, I will reiterate, it's very serious. You know, there was no laughing at the moment when we were dealing with that, because the feelings and the sensory perception all around that was incredibly serious. I mean, this thing was terrifying a family of 6, and it was terrible. So when we were in the astral realm, basically, you are so immersed, it is like you're there. What is in my physical room around me doesn't even matter, because I'm so focused on doing my job in astral to help someone that basically that's my main focus, and we'll do everything to try to correct the situation. And yeah, when you're there, that's mission. That is the mission. So I'm good like that. I think it's a military thing, but I mean, I've got really good astral partners, so that's all I could ask for is solid astral partners that see the same thing as I do or see similar things as I do, and we have the mission, and we're dedicated to it at that moment. Mm-hmm.
All right, some questions coming out for you here. This one from Shar, who is asking, can people see you when you are astral traveling?
Interesting. So I have been told that certain clients have felt me when we come in to their location. I've been told that they could feel me. I had one client report, and she was very sensitive, very sensitive. She could actually see like a misty flicker, but then she said she lost it, and she was like, "Oh, are you still here?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, we're here." Yes, we are. So the other thing is I've actually had a client have a dream about what we did. After we'd removed an entity from her house, she had a dream of how we removed it. And we don't exactly tell the client that, we grabbed this entity and exactly play-by-play what we did with it. So I thought that was very interesting. But I have not had a average client tell me that they could see me. Now, I should ask my very sensitive friend who's in chat. She probably knows who she is. Anyway, I came and visited her, but I don't recall if she could see me, but we did do astral combat together.
Nice.
So I'm not sure if she could see me, though, because I never asked. I could see her clearly. So does that answer it for you, Shar?
Well, the funny part about that is, and where I'm kind of laughing, is the night I had the lady in my yard who kept on saying, "You can't see me. You can't see me."
Yeah.
And then you come in. I hadn't even talked to you about that yet. And you come in and you hear this lady's voice saying, "You can't see me on my property." And next thing I know, I'm staring at my computer screen like I am right now. And out of the corner of my eye, I see your face in my window. You've never been to my house. You have no idea where I live.
That's right. You did say you saw my reflection.
I saw your face in the window, and then I watched you pull away, and I immediately messaged you, and I said, "I just saw you." And you were like, "What? You saw me?" And I was like, yeah, I did.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I can be seen.
Merle, your question. I know you got something built up there.
Run me through a day in the life of astraling. Like, you get to your location and you're walking, we'll just use a house, just a random house, and there are spirits in there. Do you see spirits how you see humans, or do you, explain to me how it works?
Okay. So, I'll take your case that I did the pre-eval for you. So, when I went there, the land spirits, I could tell that they were attached to the land because they indicated possession, and they were actually kind of in the ground to me. They had no feet because their feet were in the ground, but they were kind of flickery and see-through. So I knew that I wasn't staring at a real person. Okay. And the trickster activity, that always appears to me as something very dark and kind of like a blob on top of shoulders, but no other type of figure to it. I mean, it's kind of a weird, unique design, but I associate that with trickster activity. And then if they are, dearly departed grandma, I could, again, kind of see and make out some physical features that I could identify her with. However, again, she's flickery and kind of faint. She doesn't appear like if you and I were staring face to face. I have not had an astral experience to that level. Where it looks like a solid human right in front of my face. Spirits are always kind of washed out and faded to me.
Okay. Can you be harmed, like physically, mentally, like actually physically harmed?
Yes. Yes. I have been, actually. I was in Astral with my Astral partner, and we were doing a combat thing, and she had to get out of Astral, and so I figured that I could do this by myself, and next thing I know, I got ambushed by a dark gargoyle thing with ice blue eyes out of a tree. It just kind of came at me, and it struck my left side. And the next morning, when I woke up, I felt like I had been in a car crash. My left side felt like I'd, been smushed in a seatbelt kind of thing. My ribs were very tender. My hip was very sore. And I sleep on my back, so there's no way that I slept wrong. And that is the side that I got hit on in Astral. And then the other thing that happened was I was actually grabbed on the wrist one time by a very fiery man I've called the Red Man, and I actually had like 2 finger marks and possibly a third on my finger. It looked like I got burned, and it was there for about 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that showed up on my wrist. So, and that is because my physical body, even though it was here, incurred an energetic injury. And when my astral body came back, it transmitted and flowed through my body as a physical injury.
So it's almost like
That's the only way I could explain it.
It's almost like whiplash, but in the astral, like you get hit there, but it affects your real body in a way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very much so. So yes, I have been injured. I know other people that have had really bad injuries. So I'm not the only one. And I used to think, oh, you can't get injured. And then, yeah, you can. To different degrees. And that's why we take extreme precautions now. And that's why I just don't jump into Astral anymore. I have like this little protocol where, we do a very high evaluation to see if there's any threats lurking around. And it's just one of those things where it's like, we got to be safe because, you really don't know what you're getting into until you're there at the location. So, to try and sniff around and investigate a little bit more before we're actually like face to face with something that could actually harm us.
How do you go head to head with something?
Oh man. Well, sometimes I prefer the Matrix
seconds.
style. Matrix. Think about the movie Matrix. You just do all sorts of things. You can harness. Yeah, a lot of it. Energy. So if you want to shoot lightning out of your fingertips, shoot lightning out of your fingertips. It's just energy and intent.
Oh, cool. That's a cool way to look at it, like energy and intent. I get it.
Right.
Okay.
Merle, I got to cut you off. Megan, you hold on. We're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. More talk with Astral Travel. I know there's questions building up in our audience in the chat rooms. We'll get to those as well next on Spaced Out Radio as we start the second half of the show.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. For more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate all of you taking the time to hang out with us. I want to remind you, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and doing a little shopping at the SOR Vault and so much more. Don't forget to read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire as well. Ghost of the Great White North happens the third Wednesday of every month, where Merle from Haunted Crew of Canada joins us. And tonight, our special guest is Megan Gehring, Astral Traveler of the Paranormal and Supernatural. Going to start things off with Nikki's question here. She is asking, how often do you have to cloak yourself while doing astral travel?
I think I cut out. How often do I what?
Do you have to cloak yourself while doing astral travel?
Cloak. Oh, yes. Cloaking is very important. So actually that is one of the protocols I was talking about is cloaking before you just pop into astral. That way you can kind of sniff around and see what's there before you reveal yourself. Because I have not had much luck fighting, like removing something while cloaked. So, yes, cloaking is very important. I try to cloak every time I begin astral as a safety precaution.
All right. Why do you do that?
Well, that way I can see what I'm facing before it just ambushes me. It's like putting on, Merlin's cape and basically being invisible. And that way I could kind of stand there and get a feel for the situation and come up with a plan on the fly.
Can they still ever sense you, even when you're cloaked?
Yes. Yes, because I have an energy signature, right? So my energy signature is sitting there, and it's like, something's here, but they can't see me. So it might take them a while to find me, but I'm there, and they can sense me. So that's why I cloak, and it's a good safety precaution. I highly recommend people practice cloaking as part of astral protection. So especially for people that are new to astral. So, and it is literally just like putting on something that you intend to be invisible.
One conversation you and I had when we weren't on the air was intent. Remember intent when you're doing your astral, if you're having to come across something you have to fight or something. Can you explain when you're astraling and you come across things you need to cleanse, battle with, or that? You were telling me how you can use wind, you can use lightning. Explain that. Explain a fight again to our listeners and how you apply your intent.
Okay, so the intent, if my intent is to cross someone over, okay, I'm not going to use force right out the gate. And, you want to kind of leave it up to a spirit. So you come with honest intent. You communicate with the spirit that, it is possibly in their best interest that they do cross over. That way their energy can can disperse and go elsewhere or recycle. And, you know, you give them the option. So my intent for a crossover would be, let's cross you over, you know, and I can facilitate that sometimes by calling in light, you know, or creating a portal, and they go, you know, and I could also harness crossed loved ones of the person I'm trying to cross if that's what they need in order to cross. So that's my intent with that. If I'm dealing with something like a trickster or a malevolent spirit, my intent would be to remove it. And so with that, I can manifest things on the astral plane by utilizing my intent plus imagination to come up with a device, a trap, you know, a net, you know, a lightning bolt to kind of stun it so we can capture it and actually, you know, clear it in a physical manner. So, was that clear enough?
It was clear. Next
All
question was, you got one?
Oh, go ahead, Merle. Go ahead,
I was
Merle.
just gonna ask, because with spirits comes possessions and takeovers sometimes. Can that happen when you're astral traveling?
Yes and no. So for the astral traveler, for like myself, I ground my body and my astral self. So that kind of makes it a little bit harder for somebody to jump in and possess me because I'm grounded on both sides. That way, if something were to happen to me, like an astral attack by something that's way stronger than myself, and they're trying to overtake me and possess me, then I will actually get booped out of astral when I'm grounded. Okay, so instead of being overtaken, I literally just kind of fall back in my body unexpectedly, and I wake up here in the physical.
Okay.
And then usually there's like some kind of like chest pain, or, you know, I'm shaking because that was like really bad, you know, kind of thing. So it's like a little bit of an adrenaline rush. But I have heard that people have actually had to fight off things trying to get into them when they have astraled.
Can they hold you over there?
Gosh, I would hope not. Now, I do not know the answer to that because that was actually brought up a while ago about off-world. If I was astraling off-world, could I be technically astrally abducted? Now, astral abductions exist. Okay, it makes up a large portion of extraterrestrial abduction claims. You are being astrally taken, not necessarily physically taken in all cases. So, astral abduction and then like retention, I'm not sure if that exists. I have not heard of anybody that has been retained astrally. One of the groups that I was with, the leader of that group swore that could happen, and he was like, yeah, it could kill you. So I hope that is not true. I have no proof as to yes or no.
That'd be crazy.
All right, let's go to the YouTube chat. Philip is asking, can friends astral travel to visit one another in dreams? If so, how?
Yes. So, very similar to astral, or it's a lucid dream experience. You can have that experience in a lucid dream as well. And lucid dreaming is very much like astral, but you're not having the total out-of-body experience with a lucid dream. So lucid dreaming is more forms of communication. But I do have friends that have astraled together and, like, dated that way. You know, they were physically meeting up in the astral realm, or so I've been told. I myself have never engaged with human contact, but I have handed my astral partner stuff in astral. So, you know, like, handed her a device or, you know, some kind of armament. So we've done that in astral, but I would think that lucid dreaming would be the way to go if you and your friend were going to plan on meeting up in a dream realm.
All right. Science Bob is asking, Megan, how do you enter astral projection?
Basically, the short version is a form of self-hypnosis.
Okay. The long version?
Would you like me to do a long version? Okay.
Science Bob is kind of important around here.
Okay. I will go into full detail. Hang on. Basically, through grounding, you get your mind cleared, you get your body relaxed, you find a comfortable position, on the couch, on the bed, in a recliner, whatnot. I prefer a quiet place with a dark room, but from there, I do very elaborate deep breathing to where I go from my toes all the way up to my head and make sure every single muscle is relaxed. And I control my breathing and I focus on my location. And as I'm getting more relaxed and focusing on the location, it is very much like self-hypnosis. And that is when I start to project. And you can kind of feel your body basically dissolving. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. My body feels like it dissolves, and then I'm fully aware of my astral self. So in reality, what is happening is my mind is more in control and focused on what I'm seeing through the astral projecting versus what I'm feeling in a physical state. So that is why it feels like my physical body dissolves, because I'm so focused on the astral.
All right, let's get to the next question. Star Mountain is asking, at night I often feel cats jumping up on my bed and walking over my legs or laying down next to me. What is your impression of this? Ghosts?
Interesting. So there are spirit animals. There really are. So if the cat belongs to the house, or if they had a cat and the cat's still with them in spirit form, that's totally true.
Very weird.
I would say a cat. It's a ghost cat. But if there's any type of weird panic with it, there might be something else to it.
Merle, we hear your microphone come on.
I agree with her. I think it is probably a ghost cat. Does that listener, or has that listener owned cats previously? Answer in the YouTube chat.
I'm sure she has. Because she's pretty awesome that way. And let's go here. I'm just looking for a question. There is one from Corey somewhere. I can't seem to find it. Corey messaged me that question, and I will get it to the panel tonight. But in regards to animals, can animals astral project?
You know, I had an experience where I was with my cat. And it was a one-time thing, and it was very emotional. So it's still emotional. I believe they can.
All right. I love this question. I know it's not a question. It's a snarky question from Mr. Alcatraz 1 on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio. But I'm going to ask it anyways. He goes, if you eat a lot of garlic, can they smell you when you astral travel?
I am actually going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Yes, definitely.
All right. The gnome is asking, Can technically anyone astral travel, and can you get lost while in it?
Oh, that's actually a good question. That beat me to the punch. I was going to ask that.
Okay, so
I believe
first,
I believe
can
that is
anyone-
little. I believe that is Little Gnome Spender. I believe so.
So the first part was, can anyone travel?
Yes.
So if you practice, a lot of people have natural abilities to do this, but if you practice it, you can fine-tune it. Okay? So I believe that if you practice with good faith, you could potentially achieve astral. I didn't even know what astral travel was until 2 years ago. So, you know, I achieved it, and it wasn't that difficult. However, it did take a lot of time and a lot of practice. So, and then to understand what you're doing, I mean, I keep researching it. So I would encourage people to try in a safe manner. Go to the beach, you know, go to the top of a mountain. Don't pop into the middle of a city because you really don't know what you're going to run into. Go to safe spaces. You know, go play in a childhood area that you used to visit. The second portion was, can you get lost? So, yes and no. You can definitely get confused in astral. You could definitely end up at the wrong location. So, by those definitions of lost, yes. Are you going to be floating around in astral forever and your body is still here unoccupied? I sure as heck hope not. Because that's also what I was kind of saying with the astral abduction. I really hope that is, you know, once you are astrally abducted and you're taken somewhere, I really hope that does not exist. So usually you do have a safety net. You have spirit guides too. And you could just wish yourself back into your body if you get nervous. And actually, if you get nervous or scared, sometimes you automatically come back anyway. So it's kind of okay to astral.
All right, let's get to Corey's question. Megan, my wife astral traveled a lot. Then one time she decided to try a new way of meditation. She was up looking at the city, then felt something strange with her body. She felt as if something was trying to stop her from getting back to her body. She felt like the connection to her body was missing. It scared her really bad. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so either something... I'm very interested on the background of this, first of all. However, just right out the gate, I think something was trying to communicate with her or possibly attack her. That would be my simplified answer without knowing anything. So, but if she were to become scared, she should have been able to fight off that urge and come back. And I hope I understand that she did come back, right? She did come back.
She did come back. I think I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
Okay, because fear will bring you back in most cases, to my understanding. I know if I get very scared in astral, I'm back here. So if something was actually fighting her, I would like to know more of the story, because, I mean, was she in an area where there was possibly off-world interactions? Because then that would almost be like astral abduction.
What are off-world interactions?
Aliens.
Okay.
Oh, let's get into that.
See what
Where's
I
the
did there,
aliens?
Dave?
Where's the
I
aliens
was avoiding it.
No.
Oh, man,
We can
everywhere.
get into aliens.
Okay.
You never
They
go
are
wrong
from
with a little
everywhere.
alien talk.
Okay, let's bring on the woo.
Oh yes. Hold on. We just gotta give the 5-second warning prep to the Twitter crowd at #SpacedOutRadio that we are about to go into some more serious woo here. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go, Megan. Get into it.
Okay, There's a lot of aliens out there. They come from all over. But what else do you want to know?
Oh, you got to woo us better than that.
Oh, come on. There's so much. There's so much
pressure
to it.
Well,
there is so much to it.
Okay, well, define what you mean that there is so much to it. Let's start off with that.
Oh, man. Pick a topic. Okay, so we want to talk about astral abductions or abductions in general. I mean, that could keep me here all night.
Well, okay, so what's the difference between contacting ghosts and contacting aliens on the astral level?
Okay, so the ghosts are kind of here. Okay, so here on Earth, they understand Earth realm or realms of Earth. The difference between aliens is they understand a way different realm. And what is kind of, I guess, the whole reason I'm a little leery about aliens is because there's so much to it. I mean, you're dealing with different races. Each race is like part of a group, and there's like alien gangs, and they all have a different purpose. Yeah, I said alien gangs. So there's classes. I guess that's what most people would call.
Do they wear colors? Do they wear colors? Or are they named after
that would
their
be a
street names?
heck of a lot. That would be a heck of a lot easier if they wore some colors. Just saying, because you don't always know who you're dealing with when you're encountering races. There's a good version of a reptilian, and then there's like a bunch of bad reptilians. And same with the Greys. There's good Greys. There's robotic drone Greys, and then there's some like evil Greys. And it's like you don't exactly know which ones you're dealing with face to face until something happens. And like I killed a mantid once because I thought it was bad. Well, it was a good mantid, but I thought it was bad because it was with a reptilian in a tunnel. And it was scary.
You got in trouble.
I did get in trouble. I was so sad.
You can get in trouble. You could get in trouble for that. We only got less than a minute here. Finish up what you were going to say, Meg.
I apologized to the universe for killing the mantid because, no, it was really bad. There is so much to aliens, and really, it's a whole different show because we could sit here and talk about one little thing for a really long time because it is so involved. And there's really, really good aliens out there that I have communicated with. So those are the enjoyable experiences. But like stuff like Stardust Ranch, yeah, that's what makes me nervous.
Oh, so you're carrying a sword with you like John Edmonds. That is awesome.
Oh, man.
That is awesome.
Right.
All right, Merle, Megan, you guys hold on because we're going to step out for a break here at the top of the hour. We're talking astral travel in the paranormal and extraterrestrial realms tonight on Spaced Out Radio. You may want to keep the tinfoil nearby just in case you start getting contacted by those on the astral plane. Ghosts of the Great White North happens the third Wednesday of every month with Merle. And we know we love some good Merle around here. More Spaced Out Radio in Hour 3 coming up.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
We're taking Sunday nights out of this world on Spaced Out Radio. This is Michael W. Hall, also known as the Paranormal Lawyer. Together, we're going to go on an exciting journey into the unknown. I'm going to bring you some of the best interviews in the paranormal and supernatural to start your new week off on a freaky note. So tune in to Spaced Out Sundays with me, Michael W. Hall, only on spacedoutradio.com.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckard, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines Report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hey Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
We are back for hour number 3 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us, especially if you're listening in on our terrestrial stations or on the digital side on Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Navigaris, or Navigaris? Is it Navigaris or Navigaris? One of those two, because I apparently butchered it last time. The Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot, doing a little shopping at the SOR Vault, and Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire is updated daily. We are talking with Merle tonight on Ghosts of the Great White North, because that's what we do the third Wednesday of every month. Merle joins us for a little paranormal talk, and our special guest tonight is Megan Gehring, astral traveler out of Washington State. Everybody, welcome back to the show, and we're going to continue with some questions here. Philip is asking, can identical twins, Megan, switch bodies over vast distances?
That's interesting. You know, if they were to astral together, I don't think they could hop into each other's bodies.
All right. Move on to Philip's next question. Okay. Can we body slap with people on the other planets like in sci-fi novels? I think that's a perverted question.
Yes, the question everyone's thinking.
I have been told that is true.
So have I. Samantha Mowat has confirmed that. Apparently the password is Navigaris. That's how it's pronounced. All right. Thanks, Clam. Appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we got here. April is asking, who works with the governments? Greys, whites, or manted beings? What do you know, Megan? What are you holding back here?
Yes, all of the above. So there's several races. I thought this was about, well, I guess it is paranormal. Okay. Like, it's supposed to be about ghosts. Yes, all of the above. So I have encountered Greys, reptilians, Nordics, mantids, And these little things, I don't know, I think they were called geckoids. So I have all encountered those in relation to government. And there's also a reptilian gray hybrid thing. I'm not sure what it would be called properly.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's kind of cool. That is very kind of cool.
Different.
Totally different. Totally different.
Way different.
All right.
Way different.
You mentioned there was a question earlier about seeing other people on the astral realm. What's that like when you come up to another astral traveler on the astral realm? What actually happens there?
So what is interesting, I see astral travelers clearer than people that I'm astraling to. So, Dave, if you were my client and I astraled to you and somebody else was in astral, I see them clearer than I could see you. And I think it's because we're both humans on the astral plane. But that is also how I know that I'm running into another astraler.
Okay, so what happens if it's somebody who is part of a remote viewing team out of Russia or North Korea or someplace like that?
So here's where it gets tricky, because anytime it is an operative, that is where they kind of have cooler tools than me here at my house. So they have a lot different cloaking, and it is some of the best cloaking that I've ever seen. It's amazing. I think that they're actually using some kind of generator to amplify their physical body. That's all I can imagine, because I've tried to follow them back. So, but then I realized it's kind of government, and that's my no. Like, I will not interfere with that. So I stop myself and come back. But basically, they seem to be amplified.
So when you say amplify, what do you mean exactly by that?
Well, I believe that they are operatives working out of some kind of lab with some kind of physical amplification that translates into astral. And that is why they have cool tools, which makes them better and sneakier in astral.
Yeah,
do you ever get trouble from people like that?
Do I ever get what?
Trouble?
I avoid those situations, because that is not my purpose in astral. My purpose in astral, which I try to make very clear, is to help clients that are dealing with land issues and stuff in their house. You know,
so have you ever then, to follow up with Merle, have you ever had a situation where on the astral realm a government or contracted remote viewer or astral traveler has come up to you and said, hey, what are you doing out here?
I've been asked, where am I or who am I before. Very unsettling. I have been called in unknowingly to a situation where, yes, it was an operative, and we asked it to leave and said, you know, hey, client doesn't want anything to do with you. And yeah, I excused myself from that, because again, I'm not out there to deal with government dealings. I mean, I've previously worked in no lab, and that was very bad. Our whole team had repercussions. So that's where I draw the line, because I don't want to have a repercussion. I'm just doing this to help others, and I don't need to be interfering, I guess is the best way to put it. So I purposely avoid those situations, but I'm fully aware of them.
Would it ever be shocking to you if all of a sudden you got contacted from them saying, hey, we know you do this, would you like to join our team?
Well, are we still talking about the people in Russia contact? I would not go to work for the Russians. I don't speak the language. So, that would be something I would have to sit and ponder upon, because I've been in the military, and I am quite content being, a normal citizen. So, and doing something like that would be incredibly rigorous. And, I would probably advance very well, too. So, there's pros and cons to it all. But I'm content helping people. So, it all depends.
Merle.
There's a lot of information I'm digesting now. This is like big time astral talk.
Little heavy for Merle. Little heavy. He likes to play ghosts.
I do. What advice would you give somebody that's wanting to dabble with astral or learn more how to do it on your level?
Okay, well, rule number 1, don't dabble in astral. So, rule number 2, you practice and you work your way up. You have to understand yourself, okay? And there's a process to it. I would recommend doing shadow work to figure out your fears and your downfalls, okay? If you have a quick temper by nature, you are going to overreact in an astral situation, okay? And maybe that overreaction, like killing a mantid, is maybe not a good thing. So, by dabbling in astral, don't purposely, dabble. Don't go do your friends harm. Don't go to purposely, or haunted places on purpose, because if you are not versed, you can really have a repercussion. So, that's what I meant by don't dabble.
Wrong choice in word.
You learn to meditate. You learn to control your body. You take little baby steps. You do a 5-minute astral. Then you do a 10-minute astral. You got to work your way up to it. I myself won't even do a 2-hour astral anymore because it's too exhaustive. And I start to lose mental clarity. So I feel I need to be top-notch. So I put time limits on my astral sessions.
So glad I don't do that. And have no clue how to do it. So glad. Just seems so stressful.
I'm really interested. It seems really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, best advice for somebody getting into astral, and there is a lot online about how to astral, how to meditate, how to do shadow work. So some people have a natural ability to do this. If you really feel you're going places in your dreams, you very well might be doing uncontrolled astral. And that's what I used to do, uncontrolled astral while I was asleep. And then but it was so clear and so vivid. And I would wake up and my heart would be racing and I was shaking and I'm checking my leg for a dog bite, because I was like, what just happened? Well, that was an uncontrolled astral. So a lot of people have this.
Okay.
Let's get to Phil or Nathan's question here. He is asking, do you ever use white light or any light while in astral?
White light, yes. So, yes, white light, I know a couple other people have created their own signature light, but yes, I tend to stick with white light. It's something familiar to me, it's something comfortable, and the meanings behind it, are what you could Google online, white light, and it's all good and pure, and that's why I tend to use white light.
Right. Right. So for those who astral, okay, like, for instance, I have a friend of mine, all right, she doesn't know she astrals, yet she pops up in certain places, and it's funny, Megan, I pick up on astral travelers when they are around my area. or around the studio here. And this young lady has no clue that she is even astraling, yet she can project herself to certain areas. Do most people know they are actually astral traveling, whether it's in their dreams or just in meditation?
No, most people will not be aware of astraling. And actually, I have a very long-time friend who has been a very devout meditator, and she was telling me about a couple experiences, and I just laughed. And I'm like, you are astraling. And she was like, what? And yeah, she looked into it for herself, and yes, she was in fact astraling for about 4 years. And she had no idea she was doing it. So there are a lot of people out there who have their own interpretation on what astral should be, but it's very simple. Astral is your astral self leaving and going to the astral plane.
Right.
You know, and you can receive messages, you know, or impressions, or if you're concerned about, you know, going for that, you know, job change, you know, and you're meditating about that and you feel completely, all your questions have been answered, you know, in this deep meditation. Well, it's because you have actually achieved a version of astral.
Right.
So many, many people are very unaware that they're doing it, but it's because it's over thought, I think. It's overhyped, it's overthought. You know, some people talk like it's the super special ability that only grandmasters can achieve. That's not true. It's not true.
So what's the difference between astraling and, say, an out-of-body experience for people?
Well, astral, you can go places. And from what I understand about out-of-body experiences is your body is kind of still there with your self. You know, when there's a separation and the person is out of their body and they're seeing their body and they're looking around the room, they can't go and manipulate stuff in, say, I don't know, New York, if they're in California. And I have not heard anybody with an out-of-body experience leaving the general area of their body.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So that's how I make that discernment. You know, the out-of-body experience is within the area of the body. And I've heard a couple of accounts where the body is moved. You know, like in a hospital situation, the body gets moved out of the surgical operating room, and then there's a panic. And then all of a sudden they wake up in the recovery room kind of thing. And again, the panic of the basically astral self is panicking because they're seeing their body being drug away, and then it's like, I got to get back. So,
right.
You know, that's how I would separate it.
All right. Question from Philip. He is asking, how do we pick up on astral travelers?
How do we pick up on them? Okay, so that's a really good question because when I was learning the astral, I was like, well, how do I know who I'm dealing with in astral? So I'll go reverse from that and basically say, if I'm sitting here watching TV and all of a sudden I'm kind of aware that there's another presence in the room and I don't get a creepy vibe from it, but it's a human. I mean, it feels like they're a human just walked into my living room kind of thing. And that is often what astral travelers feel like. Sometimes you will get a rush of wind on one side if you're detecting them on one side, but it won't have like the cold chills or anything unless they're trying to like manipulate your energy. So you can feel a human presence walk in, but you won't be able to see them technically.
Star is asking, is it better to let the universal karma to bring justice to those who have harmed you than to get payback on your own through Astral?
I believe so. I mean, that's my rule. If somebody were to really, irk me, I'm not going to go, astrally and give them a whooping. I'm not going to do that, because then it's on me that I acted that way. It's an abuse of Astral, in my opinion. And it does kind of go against karmic law if I were to act out in a way that is utilizing Astral. If you really have a beef with somebody, go tell it to their face, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's not possible, then yeah, just wish karma to pay it back.
Philip is asking whether or not you can change yourselves into different characters on the astral self, or on the astral plane, pardon me.
So I do not, but I know other people who do. So, and they do it as a form of cloaking. I put on a cloak to cloak. They shape shift or, present themselves as a cat or a dragon even. It depends on their intent. If they want to be sneaky, they're a cat. If they want to be scary, they're a dragon. So I don't, but I do know quite a few people that do.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's interesting.
We got 2 minutes before we're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Merle is with us for Ghosts of the Great White North. Our special guest tonight, talking astral travel, Megan Gehring. Now, I'm curious, when you go into a case, Megan, do you know what you're going to be looking for, or is everything very, very up in the air with what you're going to see on the astral side comparatively to what you see on the human side?
Some of it is up in the air. Certain aspects are up in the air. When we do our client intake, I ask to see photos of the client. That way I at least know who I'm dealing with. We can scan them personally for attachments through photos. We could kind of get an impression. When we do that, that kind of gives us an indication of certain aspects that they might be encountering, or that we will encounter at their location. So there is a little bit of a workup, and that is also why I just don't jump straight into astral. I prefer the workup because I am being safe about this and, earning the client's trust in order to do the best job possible with their removal. So what we end up doing is kind of like a pre-evaluation. And then we will go in, and sometimes we are really surprised as to what else is maybe hiding.
Merle?
I just find that so interesting because when she was talking, I was thinking about when I was talking to her about that last case that she helped me with. It just blows my mind, like how good she is at doing that. It's amazing. So, yeah.
And you think about, it, it shouldn't be that way. Like, we shouldn't really be able to do this, but it is one of those hidden gems and secrets of the paranormal.
I think it is. I think it's a valuable tool to help in an investigation, especially.
All right. On that note, I'm going to get you guys to hold on here because we got to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Yeah, we definitely have to do that because it's that time. Ghosts of the Great White North with Merle happens the third Wednesday of every month. And we are joined by Megan Gehring as well. We'll be back more Spaced Out Radio right after this.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hi there, this is the paranormal lawyer Michael W. Hall. I'd like to invite you to listen in each Sunday night where we're going to open up your eyes to everything strange and paranormal. I will be hosting some great guests with topics that affect us all, such as UFOs, ghosts, and everything paranormal. Let's learn together on Spaced Out Radio Sunday with myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans! It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckard, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/spacedoutradio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate you taking the time. A reminder to all of you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and all of our archives will be free for you. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We're having a little bit of trouble right now with some stories and everything loading on there. We'll get that figured out for tomorrow. Trying not to stress about it while watching and listening and doing the show here. But, you know, we'll get that figured out for tomorrow, so that way everything is looking pretty darn good as it normally does. So because of that, we had to say goodnight to Merle because he's got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for work. But Megan Gehring is still here, the astral traveler extraordinaire. I want to ask you, Megan. I'm going to ask you something really, really personal. Mike just texts me.
Okay.
He's like, strong Merling tonight. Strong Merling tonight. Hell yes, Merle. Hell yes. I love Mike. He is literally one of my best friends in this field, and he is. He's got such a dry sense of humor. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and he just makes me laugh. He totally makes me laugh. Every time he comes up to visit, he brings like a giant 3 bags of chicken wings, and we pig out on chicken wings. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. Merle's good people. Merle's very good people. Anyways, I don't know how personal you want me to get on this. But you had a weird experience working with me over the last couple of months, going back into January. Are you comfortable with talking about what popped up on your phone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, no, that was interesting. And, I mean, that's also why I was kind of saying that, you know, government has cooler toys than I do.
Okay, so why don't you kind of explain the situation? I'll lead into it, and then I'll let you take it over.
Yeah.
So as many of you know, I have told the story about the symbol that came to me in January, on January 5th, which was like a diamond with like 2 giant horns coming out of it. And it was very strange, very, very strange. And anyways, I called Megan in because she's kind of a part of this, and there was some strange astral travel type people hanging in around my house. So I got Megan to check them on out, and this led to a phone call between Megan, myself, Olaf Phillips, and Alan T. Greenfield. And basically what these astral travelers were doing is they were saying, hey, Dave, are you ready to go for a ride? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to make things happen? And so Megan and I talked about that. And then you went to sleep, Megan.
Mm-hmm. I did.
What happened the next morning?
So I woke up and I sleep with my phone off to the side of the bed, and first thing I did, grabbed the phone, went to look at the time, and I have to swipe up on a lock to, open my screen, turn it on. So I swipe up on my lock, and instead of staring at my clock, I'm staring at the Secret Service website, the Secret Service website, and it was for employment. I could sign up and have an employment screening through them. And I was just like, what? And so I was like, I know I wasn't on my phone. I know I would never look this up. So I ended up clicking the information to see maybe what time I had logged onto that website. It was not even in my history. And I was just sitting there going, well, if that wasn't a sign. And so I immediately had to take a screenshot and send that one to the captain.
Yeah, that kind of weirded you out. I remember getting a message from you that morning, and you're like, check this crap out. Check this out.
Yeah.
This is very, very weird. Now, in order to access a website on your phone, you have to type it in.
Yes. Yes, or click a link. Maybe somebody sent me a link and I clicked on it, but still there would be a history, and I'm certain nobody sent me any links. So the only two ways to get onto a website is click a link or an ad or type it in. So I was just completely baffled. I don't spook easily at all, and that got me. That got me going good, because I'm pretty certain it was either put there or put there. Just put there.
Do you know anybody in the Secret Service?
That is a big negative.
Is that something that you would ever want to look at?
The website? No. Working for them? Probably no. I'm totally content doing what I'm doing. We'll see where it goes. How about that?
Yeah, but the key thing is, there was a lot of high strangeness going on, and it seems to have died down for right now regarding everything. When you look at that, what do you think of all that? What do you make of it when it kind of just goes down that road where all of a sudden you pop open your phone and there is a job bank website or job bank application from the Secret Service, and you've had no interest in ever really looking towards something like that?
Oh yeah, no, that almost was like either a sign as to we were the ones that were associated with the case the night before, or they were intently listening and they basically found it accurate and appealing, so they sent that to me as a sign, basically an in-my-face sign, like, hey, we need you. Maybe it's remote recruiting, I'm not sure, but I found that highly strange, and the fact that it wasn't even in my history. And the last thing that I actually had up was an anagram word solver thing that I was cheating on a little game that I play. I was cheating because I was doing my little anagram things, and I was stuck on the last two words. So I typed the word in, and this little anagram finder website, that is the last thing I was looking on. So but there's no way that I could go anagram word search solver to Secret Service. So I kind of found that very amusing too.
So when you're going through something like that and you have that type of strangeness, what goes through your head? Do you immediately think that someone was in your house, in your phone got hacked? What do you think?
I think that it was done through my phone. That, I don't believe somebody was in my house. My animals are pretty good, so I think it was done remotely, like remote recruiting. I think that's a thing. So I think that was a little telltale sign, and I just don't know how to take it, whether we were there or they're aware or we want you.
So have you been contacted by anybody else since regarding that?
Not that I'm aware of. So, yeah, nothing else weird. So, but also with everything going on in the world right now, I'm sure they are doing not so much recruiting, and they're probably very dedicated right now trying to figure a lot of things out.
Right. So that also comes down to the idea of, people watching you while you are astral traveling. And the big thing with that is if you have the ability to do that and to make contact with people on the other side, do you leave some sort of projection or trail on how they can find you?
So there is energy signatures, yes. And we've called them like slug trails. You know how when a slug goes, you could see where it is because it kind of like leaves the shiny little silver behind it. So
yes.
That is kind of similar to what Astral is. And you can pull it back to you. You could collect your cord. But, yeah, I mean, if somebody is in the process of watching, they could always detect your energy signature, especially if there's somebody that you're familiar with. Like when I did the Mill Lab, I'm sure a lot of us were identified. So that is also why I really do avoid certain cases now. I don't want to meddle. I'm not here to meddle. I'm here to help with paranormal things. Not necessarily go fight the government, which, that is totally against why I'm even doing this.
Well, and I understand that, and is it as much as being you're against? I don't think you're against government as per se. You want to help regular people. You don't want to use this talent, if we call it that, for any type of nefarious ways.
Yeah. I mean, when I think utilizing this into the government, that would be akin to me going right back into the military. And I've already done that, and now I'm out of the military and, happily married with, good husband and a child and, no longer in the military. And this is, a peaceful time for me, a peaceful situation and everything. So I wouldn't want to, be committed to like a government contract per se, where I'm roped back into being told where to go and, I've got orders to do this operation, and then here I am not with my child and my husband anymore. So that's my personal reasons. If I was single and 22, that might change things. I mean, that would actually be cool. How cool would that be to be some kind of astral traveler, galactic, space person that could just do this all remotely? I mean, super spy. That would be awesome.
Do you still get scared when you go astral travel?
Around here, no. But if I do something off-world, it's a little precarious sometimes because, again, you don't always know which aliens you're dealing with. So, but most of the time, I am very observant, and being observant in the astral realm negates a lot of fear.
Have you ever had any life-threatening situations while astral traveling?
Not me personally, but I do have a friend that has had one. So to the point where they were hospitalized. So I learned by example and try not to repeat what they did. But, you know, the safety protocol, if there's something that I cannot handle by myself, I get the heck out of the situation. You know, and that's also why I have been working with my astral partner, too. We astral together. That way we've got each other's backs. So, you know, that's also one of our safety protocols. So, you know, it's better safe and flow than, you know, kind of jumping into a situation and paying for it.
And for a lot of people who do not understand that, though, Megan, you know, it comes down to the danger. You know, like when you sit there and say this is dangerous, I think a lot of people will look at this and say, you know, playing devil's advocate here for a second, that, well, what's so dangerous about it? You know, you don't really know where you are. You don't know if you're in a dream state. This really hasn't been proven scientifically or anything along those lines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, you know, the scientific part, that would be fascinating. I mean, I would have no problem volunteering for like a university or maybe a private research group to maybe scan my brain while I go astral. You know, I mean, I would not be opposed to that. I would find that fascinating. You know, or maybe I should talk to Merle and see if I could come visit him and maybe try and play with K2 meter or something. You know, just for some validation that there is palpable energy transfer. I mean, I know that my clients have reported back an amazing difference when we work a case. So, and I mean, I've got some information that I've pulled down from Astral, and it's like, I should not know that. How do you explain that? You know, that's what I'm fascinated. Every single time I astral, I am fascinated. You know, I'm using myself as a tool. So that sounded wrong, but I am a tool. I'm a tool.
You are a tool. You are a tool.
I'm a tool. So yeah, but no, it can be dangerous. It really can be dangerous if you're not aware of your situations and you get into a situation where something stronger than you is, or more of you, excuse me, is going to attack you. You know, and I mean, another astraler can actually harm you too on the astral realm. If you were to fight on the astral realm, you could actually end up with an injury.
So how do you protect yourself on the astral realm or the plane? Never mind with meditation or anything like that, but how do you make sure that you're safe and sound?
Well, so with observation, because I mean vision's different. You can change your vision too in astral. You can do like a bird's eye 360 view and have a whole look around kind of thing. So it's just not straightforward vision, if that makes sense. So situational awareness and being very receptive to the energy that is around you. Sorry, the air conditioner kicked on and it's dry. But it's very interesting because you can feel certain vibrations and frequencies when you're in astral. And if you're paying attention to that, that is what's going to save you. And then also, if you do start to get attacked, you can boop out of astral. You can pull yourself out of astral to save yourself, you know, or also sometimes you get hit in astral and then you just are knocked out of astral too. So, but sometimes you can get, feelings like what we were talking about earlier. I had sore ribs and a sore hip after getting hit. I mean, it was an energy blast, and it transferred into my body. So, I mean, it can be very dangerous, but to save yourself, awareness is key, and sensing is key, and then knowing your limits, too. I mean, I would never go fight an army of darkness by myself. I mean, I would at least like to have a partner who I could trust in Astral, and they could fight with me.
Is it physical or mental?
Is it physical or mental?
Yeah.
It's kind of both.
I wouldn't know. I've never done it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can get hurt physically and you can sustain mental damages too. I mean, you're not going to get brain damaged, I don't think, but I mean, I have had headaches. I have had severe headaches, and I have been seeing like on a loop what I was dealing with the night before in Astral. Like, it wouldn't leave my mind.
Well, Megan,
so
this was a quick half hour. Want to say thank you for.
Yes, it was.
Want to say thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah,
what good company
thank you.
What good company you are.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no worries, because we always appreciate that. Sorry that we didn't get to the news or the thought of the Dave. We'll do it tomorrow. I got to get some web work done tomorrow. Speed up our website a little bit. Just a little bit. But I want to say thank you so much to Merle for coming on for Ghosts of the Great White North, as Merle's here every third Wednesday of the month, and for Megan Gehring, my astral bodyguard, talking astral travel about the paranormal, supernatural, UFOs and aliens, putting Merle right out of his comfort zone, and a little Marky Spender for jumping in as well about our Bigfoot story. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody participating at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be, and everybody in our chat rooms on YouTube, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Spreaker, the SOR Space Travelers Club at our website, Facebook, and to all the snarkers and snarkettes hanging out at hashtag Spaced Out Radio on Twitter. You made a good night tonight. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for hanging on out with us, because together, my friends, we're watching. We own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Have a great night, everybody. We're going to do it all again tomorrow. I really appreciate your time. We'll see you then. Good night.